Huge savings on all jacuzzi and Cal Spas hot tubs and swim spas at Dream Style Remodeling, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard. Enjoy family fun for years to come with your new hot tub or swim spa. Get 20% off select hot tubs and 30% off swim spas. We offer easy financing and free delivery and setup. You can rely on Dream Style Remodeling for complete professional installation. Stop by Dream Style Remodeling today, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Ah!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Networks. Leroy Lucero along with Michael Carlisle and new Lobo head football coach, Danny Gonzalez. Danny, welcome to Red Menace TV.
Thank you.
And welcome back to New Mexico.
I'm excited to be back. I'm honored you had me on the show. I'm just honored to be back home in Albuquerque.
So I've been pushing for you to be hired for 3 years, but it's finally good that it finally happened. I tweeted last night, and I think there's a lot of people that are they're feeling that excitement generate. I said, it's great to have passion back with Lobo football. And I'm not trying to knock anybody else or whatever. Everyone has their different things. But you're a homegrown player.
Mm-hmm.
You came through the walk-on program, earned a scholarship, went to GA, became an assistant coach, left with Rocky staff, kind of cut your teeth at Arizona State. Do I have it all right so far?
Yep, so far.
Okay, and now you're back.
Yes.
What a journey.
Unbelievable. When we got fired here in 2008, I was crushed. I mean, I thought I'd be here forever, and this is the route it would take. And I had hoped that I would get in this position. And if you're around someplace long enough, sometimes you just kind of fit into a role. But having to leave and having that opportunity really prepared me to sit where I am today. And I'm very thankful for all the things that happened. I'm a big believer in my faith, and God had a plan, and He's just running His plan through me right now, and this is where we're at.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know this has been almost a whirlwind in a lot of ways. You have to hit the ground running, assemble a coaching staff. You've got recruiting to worry about. Has there been one thing that's stuck out so far that maybe you weren't quite expecting?
The first 3 weeks I was up there by myself. Quiet. It was eerie, almost quiet. I mean, as a football coach, you're always around coaches, and I kind of took that I wanted to do it that way. If you notice, and you'll figure this out, I kind of keep things close to myself. Not a lot of people in the know outside of that need to be outside of our program, and there was very few rumors about who our coaches were going to be.
Right.
That was on purpose. There was one person that knew. I shared stuff with Eddie. He was in on everything. Obviously, I can trust him because nobody found out. And Eddie has been just awesome through this whole deal. So I'm just, I know where we had success when we were here, and we're going to emulate a lot of that and try and build on what we had and build this team to compete for championships.
Now, Coach, when the previous staff was let go, were you ready to hit the phone to see if the position was going to be available to you? Were you happy in Tempe? I mean, what was going on in your mind when you found out this position was open?
You know, New Mexico is a special place to me, but I didn't chase the job. I've never chased a job, and I can proudly say that. I've never tried to get better myself. I mean, I've been big. Coach Long, Coach Mendenhall, they were very, very good to me in this profession. I said all the time, Coach Long protected me for almost 20 years. And it's unheard of to work with somebody for 20 years. So I didn't make one call politicking for this job. I really wanted Eddie and the president and their search firm to really do their due diligence to figure out who they wanted and who they thought was the best fit. And if it was me, great. If it was somebody else, then I was going to cheer on that person as the Lobo I am.
It's interesting because there was a lot of fans here and former Lobos players that were definitely politicking for you to have that job. I think there was a lot of players that were former players, alumni, and maybe even current, I don't know, that were excited when you were named and even as you were part of the search.
Super honored. I mean, all those guys, a lot of them have made their way up to the office the last 2 weeks. And, I mean, we need all the former Lobos back. We need everybody. I keep saying this to everybody. It is going to take every hand on deck to get where we want to go. And it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to build it right with freshmen, and we're starting from ground zero and going to work our way up.
With that, I mean, what challenges did you see coming into the job, and now that you're finally landed it and you're here, do you see challenges early on?
I do. The big challenge is we have 33 scholarship seniors. So when you're trying to build a culture, I'm a big believer that the seniors are the leaders of your football program. So those guys that buy in, they're going to be gone in 6 months. Once football season's over, really 9 months. Once football season's over, their legacy will be the guys behind them. I'm a big believer in you protect the past, the present, and the future of Lobo football. And so those guys are going to set our foundation. And once they leave, we've only got 4 scholarship freshmen. So we're going to take the majority freshmen in this class. There's still a couple holes on the offensive line that we need to fill, that we might have to take a grad transfer in this first class or push it forward. But we're going to build this program with freshmen. And there's enough talent next year that you could have a little success, and then there could be a dip between year 2 and 3. But we're going to build this thing up. And I said, we finished second 4 times. I want to win championships. That's what drives me in this business. It's why I do it. I love the players, and I love competing.
With 33 seniors this year, do you maybe look to the junior college ranks to kind of balance things out a little bit? Or do you just go, look, we're going to go young. We might take a few lumps, but I really want to build this from the ground up with freshmen, and by the time they're juniors and seniors, they're going to be ready to go.
We're going to be young. Next year, now this coming season, 2020, we won't be because those 33 seniors.
Right.
But if we take any older players, it's going to be that we have to be able to compete next year, and it might be 1 or 2. Now we might take some junior college kids that have 3 years to play for. The qualifiers out of high school that have been at a JC for 1 year. I treat those guys as freshmen because you still have the potential to have them for 4 years.
Right.
We will not take. I say we will not. I don't want to take any junior college kids that have 2 years. Just not my philosophy. I mean, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, and so in 2021 we are going to be a very, very young football team. I mean, you're going to see a lot of redshirt freshmen playing, maybe even some true freshmen if we can out-recruit those guys. So it's going to take some time.
Now, Coach, speaking of recruiting, New Mexico is a place that you've recruited successfully,
For sure.
not only when you were here, but even when you were at San Diego State.
Correct.
Is that still going to be a hotbed for you that you want to recruit
I think you have to build the program foundation out of New Mexico. We're going to take 4 to 5 kids every year. There's going to be the 1 or 2 no-brainers that everybody in the country is going to recruit, and we're going to throw our hat in the ring and love them up, and the advantage is we're closer. So I'll get to know their parents. They'll know me. I'm going to be like the Allstate commercial, the Menace. I'm going to be everywhere they are, I'm going to be. And we're going to try and keep those guys around. And then there's going to be 3 or 4 that we project that in 2 to 3 years, they'll be great players. We're going to bring back the walk-on program, build it off of New Mexico kids. Those guys are guys, there's great high school football players in New Mexico that oftentimes they're great high school football players and they never mature. Oftentimes they turn into great players. I mean, when we were here before, a couple examples, and people forget this, Jared Baxter, he was a walk-on. He ended up playing for the Houston Texans. Clint McPeak, he ended up playing the UFL. He was one of the great Lobos behind Brian Urlacher and those guys to compete. He was a walk-on from La Cueva High School. We've got a bunch of those types of kids. And then you go to the Hank Baskets and the Dontrell Moores. Now, Dontrell Moore was recruited by everybody in the country. Took an official visit to Notre Dame, North Carolina. Mom was big about him being close, and we won. We got him here. And for 4 years, he rushed for over 1,000 yards, and he led the Mountain West Conference in rushing. Hank Basket had 1 scholarship offer. That was to the University of New Mexico. He was a great track athlete, good basketball player, played quarterback, could high jump 7'2". I talked to Hank on the phone the other day. He was so excited to get back here to Albuquerque just to be a part of it. And I said, hey, there's a young man down in Clovis. I can't say his name, but we're recruiting him. Make a phone call. Whatever we, all hands on deck. And so it's those guys. They were our best players. And now we're going to recruit our footprint: Texas, Arizona, California, Nevada, Colorado, Utah, and we're going to take the 5 or however many are. If there's more than that, then we'll take them. But we're going to build it with freshmen and compete for championships. I want to compete for championships. And then my big thing with Eddie and the president, and they've been awesome. I said we've got to do this right so that we can compete for championships. Or I'm not interested.
Now, are there guys that you were maybe recruiting when you were at ASU that you might try to get to come here, or do you just move on from them and start looking elsewhere?
Absolutely. I mean, I think recruiting is all about relationships. The parents have to feel comfortable that they're sending their kids off with somebody that's, one, genuine and they can trust. And so I challenged all of our coaches that I hired, don't come waiting for us to have a list for you to work. Come to work with a list with relationships that you already have of good players. And they've done a phenomenal job of that. And so we're going to recruit all the kids we've been recruiting that we have relationships with. There's a bunch of really good players out there. And the great part with the early signing period, we're not wasting our time trying to fill people that really have made up their mind and they're not going to flip. So we know who's available. We know who's recruiting them. I mean, in the world of Twitter, there's no secrets.
No,
it's awesome. And it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So, Coach, obviously one of the things that I think myself and a lot of Lobo fans were excited about was Coach Lensmeyer coming back as a Lobo player. Obviously, he recruited in New Mexico heavily, had the thing going as a coach and as a player, obviously, on the offensive line. How important was it to get Coach Lens?
It was good. It was really, former Lobos just have a special thing for this place, like something in the water. Maybe it's the green chili. I don't know. You get involved and you love it here. And he did a great job. Now, Keyshawn Banks and Jordan Bird, those kids are at San Diego State because of me. I'm taking full credit because I worked my tail off to get those kids. And Coach Long even said it at the end of the New Mexico Bowl, which how awesome the event that was. But he said, we're going to have a hard time getting those New Mexico kids now. And they're dang right. They are going to because we're going to try and keep them all home. And I gave those 2 kids a hard time, pretty close with Keyshawn's mom, Jacinda. And I said, if I wouldn't have worked my tail off so hard to get you there, you might be here. So it had some fun banter with them. They've been great players for the Aztecs. And in 2021, we're going to have to compete against them. So I'll look forward to that day because it's always fun to compete against friends. But having Lens back, he'll help us in numerous areas. I mean, he's going to coach the O-line, and he's had physical O-lines the whole time that he coached, both here and that other school that he coached at that I hold a grudge against him for, but you have to do what you have to do. And but it's been fun around the office having Lens back and being around him and Lens' family, and just excited to have him around.
Awesome. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Coach Danny Gonzalez here on Red Menace TV.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way. Hit the deck
Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A three for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20! Well, he needed to get his legs back under him. Ooh, little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer. Up top! Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak, ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Huge savings on all jacuzzi and Cal Spas hot tubs and swim spas at Dream Style Remodeling, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard. Enjoy family fun for years to come with your new hot tub or swim spa. Get 20% off select hot tubs and 30% off swim spas. We offer easy financing and free delivery and setup. You can rely on Dream Style Remodeling for complete professional installation. Stop by Dream Style Remodeling today, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
All right, welcome back to Red Menace TV. Coach, in our last segment here, just want to talk a few other things. So you have 2 spots left open.
We do.
And we were talking off the air, and you said you're still juggling where everyone's going to fit in.
Correct.
And that sort of thing.
And because of the because I can be out on the road, and this time of year I can't be out in the spring as a head coach, but shoot, it's what I've done for the last 20 years. So I can get in there with them boys and work and find players. So we're not going to be shorthanded. I'm going to make sure that those last 2 guys are the ones that I want, and it might be next week. It might be after signing day. I mean, we need to find players first, and so that's the focus right now. We got a lot going on around the office doing that, and we can hit the road Thursday night. We can go fly to our destination, so Friday morning we can be on high school campuses and talk to kids, and then nothing for the weekend with Martin Luther King. There might be a couple home visits. We might have some unofficial visits, and there's a couple of official visits here on campus this weekend, and then hit the road again running next week, be out all week, and have a big recruiting weekend 23rd, 24th. So there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts.
With these last 2 hires, is there something specific you're looking for, or are you just looking for people who are the right fit with the rest of the group?
Exactly. It's who you work with before what they know, in my opinion. One, they have to be on the same page as you. You have to trust them. And I learned this from Coach Mendenhall and really Coach Long. I won't work with people I don't like. You spend too much time. It's a family atmosphere. We spend too much time up there together to enjoy be around people. And we're going to hire, for sure, there's one position, a quarterback coach, and I already know who that's probably going to be. We're going to wait a little while to finalize some stuff. And, I mean, the atmosphere around there, if you come up to the offices, you might see a bunch of little kids running around because I'm big on family first. For our kids, our coaches. My wife is amazing. We got 4 kids, and she's been unbelievable through this whole process. She's back in Tempe with the girls right now. Our boys are at school at ASU, and she's handling she's working a lot harder than me, and people are telling me how hard I'm working. So she's got no help. Her job done in. I get to go home. I can be at the office till 11 or 12. I get to go home, and the girls are still there. They're 5 and 7, so she's got to run to school, run around, and unbelievable wife. I'm the most blessed man there is. Awesome. So you'll see, and I've told all our coaches if their wives have appointments during the day that they can't find somebody to watch the kids, we'll bring them down and give them to Dad, because dads don't babysit. Dads raise their kids. So bring them in our building, let them run around. If we can't concentrate with some kids running around, we're in trouble on Saturday.
So. Coach, 20 years with Rocky Long and then 2 years with Herm Edwards. And this is going to sound like a crazy question. What did you pick up from those guys?
Unbelievable. Like I said before, if I wouldn't have gone away, and really even the 2 years that I was away from Coach Long, it prepares you for opportunities later on. And you never know. You always think you're ready for something until you get to it and you realize, well, I wouldn't have been at this point, or I wouldn't have been at that point. And Coach Long, his 81 and 37 record at San Diego State speaks volumes for how successful they were in the plan. And he started that here, and it changed the deal, and we went that direction. And then same thing at San Diego State. And then my 2 years with Coach Edwards, if you watched Herm Edwards on TV on ESPN, that's who he is. All day long, 24 hours a day, doesn't matter. He never changes. And he really took me under his wing in the 2 years we were together, and he shared with me all the stuff that he learned with at the New York Jets, at the Kansas City Chiefs, and his time there, the good times, the bad, what you need to do, what you don't. And he calls and checks up on me, and since I've been here, just the opportunity. He gave me an opportunity when we didn't know each other, and that's very uncommon in this business. I flew in there one night at like 9 o'clock and interviewed, and I give him a lot of credit for taking a chance at me, because I said, this might ruin my chances of having this job. I'm not talking our scheme on this interview because we play you next year, and I don't think I don't think it's fair to my team. And so if you want to end this interview right now, I'm good. I'll go back because I got a great job in San Diego. And he goes, Coach, let's talk philosophy. And so we did till about 2:30 in the morning, and he offered me the job, and canceled all the other interviews, the people that are going to interview. So he showed faith in me. I talked it over with my wife and Coach Long, and we were in Tempe for the last 2 years, and I love Tempe. We loved it. It's a great place. There was one job that I would have left it for, and that's where I am.
Awesome. So you said you're going to keep the same defense that you ran when you
were
here and at San Diego State. Offense, people want to talk about that. What offense are you hoping to run, or what are you trying to do?
We'll be based off of a spread RPO, be able to run the ball. Coach Wareheim, super excited to have him on staff. We stole a jewel that I hope we can keep him here for a while. I'll say that. I got great confidence in what they've done already, putting stuff. The organization, getting those guys to work. I had to kick everybody out of the building on Monday night because I wanted them to go watch the championship game, but they've all been up there till 11, 12 o'clock at night, finding players, working on scheme, fitting into the schedule. So the work has been just unbelievable. And we're going to have some triple option aspects in our offense because I think that stuff is really hard to defend. When we were at San Diego State and played them, the worst 3 games I ever played were against this school. I didn't lose any of them. But we also didn't celebrate the same at the end of it. And it was more of a relief because you can't lose that. You don't want to lose, but then afterwards it didn't feel good. And so I know how hard they were prepared for with that offense. So we will have aspects, and if we run a couple play, I mean, it'll be within the early script, and if they don't defend it, you're going to see it all day. But I don't believe you can be one-dimensional. We have to be able to throw the ball. I mean, their passing game, if you look at Texas, the last 3 years on offense, they were 12th in the country total offense last year. And Coach Werheim had a big part of that. So I'm really excited to see what they do.
Coach, one of the things you talked about at your press conference, and I think it's something that Lobo fans have felt has been missing for a while, is being out in the community. And I think you've been at every Lobo game since you've been hired. And I see you going around. I see people coming up to you at those games. How important is that for you to, not just at the games, to be out, whether it's speaking with local groups, Rotary clubs or whatever, just being out in the community and being accessible that way?
I think it's important for a couple reasons. Being at the basketball games, and I'll be at Coach Birmingham's football games. I'm going to the women's basketball game tonight. I think that's fun. I mean, I'm a Lobo fan. So if they call that part of my job, well, then I'm pretty darn lucky. Because right now at the men's basketball games, and women too, I've got more access to that building than I ever had my whole life. So it's unbelievable. I mean, everybody's been friendly, warm. But our kids are going to be out in the community. Our coaches are going to be out in the community, because you have to be a part of something to really be invested. And if they feel that we're invested in them, then they'll invest with us. And if we get investment from them, that stadium will be full. And if Dream Style Stadium's full, guess what? We'll have plenty of resources, and we'll have all those things that you need. Build it and they'll come, or faith without seeing. Well, I hope they both happen. And our kids, they're gonna play hard, and I want to recruit good citizens that are a great part of Albuquerque. Because if you've noticed, the first 2 years are pretty tough around here. 3, 4, and 5, those kids end up living here and living here forever. I mean, there's so many former players that I've seen the last 2 weeks that we recruited from out of the footprint that are Albuquerque citizens. I'm telling you, the Green Chili, Daniel Kegler, he said it the other day, he scared the tar out of me. I was in my office on my computer, he comes in, Coach G, screaming like he is. If you remember Daniel Kegler, just those kind of guys, they're our citizens. And then there's a big responsibility in the position I sit, is it's a very visible position. And you can really help the state of New Mexico, not just our university, the entire state. I'm a New Mexico kid. I love this place. So whatever I can do, I mean, I shared with the governor and the mayor, Mayor Keller. He invited me to the State of the City address on Saturday, and I was up there with him. He's got 2 young kids that we can hang out with. I mean, if there's a way that I can help this state, the city, there's only one city in this state that I don't really care to help, and it's but nothing against them. I'm going to help everybody I can, because I love this place. It's home. Yeah. It's home.
You know, Coach, you talk a lot about tradition, and there's not a huge tradition with Lobo football, but there has been pockets.
Correct.
Some of that tradition has gone away, and I've heard some of your press conferences and some of you speaking. You want some of that tradition to come back?
I do. You know, the greatest run of Lobo football was, I mean, you can say it started in '98, but that was when Coach Long was hired. We won 3 games in '98. We won 4 in '99. We won 5 in 2000. We won 6 in 2001 and did not get invited to a bowl game. From 2001 till 2008, we had 7 consecutive seasons of being bowl eligible. It was the greatest run in this program's history. In 2005, we averaged over 37,000 people a game. Not inflated numbers either. Against New Mexico State that year, we had over 44,000 people in the stadium where the fire marshal was going, what are we going to do? There is an opportunity. Now, the times have changed a little bit with live sporting events. But guess what? Albuquerque is a city of almost 1 million people if you consider Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, the whole metropolitan area, Los Lunas, and all that. We can find 35,000 to 40,000 people that we can invest and make college football a great place on Saturday afternoons. You have to have a great product that they're proud of. So that means you have to have good kids. Now, college kids are knuckleheads. You know, kids get in trouble.
Sure.
If you recruit good character kids, they weed out the bad ones for the most part. And you have a good program. And if we're competitive, people will be involved. The Red Menace, when I was here before, that group was awesome. The End Zone, the Lobo League, those kids went down there, they appreciated it. A lot of our kids don't know the fight song. They're going to know the fight song. They're going to sing the fight song to the band, and when we go on the road games, if there's the pocket of Lobo fans that are up in the stands, our kids are going to go over there, sing the fight song in front of them, and tell them thank you for coming. Because when you show your gratitude and your appreciation for the people that are invested, that group gets bigger, and bigger. We need that whole north end zone. We need the red wigs. We need all that stuff. We need those guys screaming. And when I was here as an assistant in 2014 at my previous school, San Diego State, man, I wasn't going to look. I was not going to turn my head. There was no chance I wasn't going to give them any more ammunition than you guys needed. And one of our coaches, Coach McGarry, did, and oh man, you knew his son. You knew. I mean, we need that stuff back. And Twitter world allows you to have access to all the information you need.
That's true.
And that banner is fun. That banner is really fun amongst and then the kids, they get invested. We need as many, and we're going to be on campus. I need to get the students back involved. And the way you get the students back involved is coaches and players be on campus. So we're going to do some stuff down in the housing. We're going to invite all those kids to come down in the fall and do some football drills with the students and get those guys. I'll buy them some T-shirts if I have to pay for them, and so that they have something to wear to the games. And we need all hands on deck, and we'll compete for championship.
Awesome. I'm going to run one last question, and then we're going to run a little over. Alden, sorry. We talked a little bit about this when I first started doing Red Menace and interviewing guys. You were a GA then.
I was.
So I didn't talk to you.
Correct. Be seen, not heard. And our GAs will learn. Be seen, not heard.
So the first time we had a conversation, you were assistant coach then, special teams, and I saw you at an event that I thought was spectacular, Night of Champions. Mm-hmm. And we had a conversation, me, you, and Coach Long, and I missed that event. That event's been gone for a long time. Is that coming back?
For sure. You've probably seen some stuff on Twitter, pictures of the record board and the Beefmaster and those things. I had now there's a few people that are still in the department from when I was around, and there was a couple that protected those boards that I'll be appreciative, and they'll be rewarded for it. I'm still on that board, by the way. So, there's going to be some challenging to those guys to fix some stuff, and we're going to update a couple pictures. But that night, that event it's a community event, and it's another opportunity for our kids to be in front of our fans and compete. It's a great environment. If you've ever been there, I mean, we've done it in the stadium, we've done it in the inside the weight room, we've done it outside in the little foyer right outside the weight room. So there's all kinds of opportunity to have fun with it and do some things. And I thought it was a great event that we can still try and make better. And if we market it, we're going to have a spring game. Spring game is important to me because it gives our fans an opportunity to come out and just kind of watch and have a good day on a spring afternoon or a spring evening, whichever works best for our athletic department. Because we will do everything around men's and women's basketball if they're still competing at that time. Because two things. I want to be able to be at the games to cheer them on. Coach Bradbury and Coach Weir, I mean, they're good friends of mine now. I've spent a lot of time with them. They're going to get tired of me. They're going to kick me out of that place. And so I think as a whole, UNM athletic department, I want, if football's better, everything's better. Everybody has more. And so that's my target around here.
Awesome. I could talk to Coach Danny Gonzalez all day long. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Coach, thanks for coming in. We'll be seeing more of you, obviously, as your career blossoms here.
Awesome.
And for Michael Carlisle, Alden Iowani, and Coach Danny Gonzalez, Leroy Lucero, I'll see you next week. God bless you all.
Go Lobos.
Savings on all jacuzzi and Cal Spas hot tubs and swim spas at Dream Style Remodeling, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard. Enjoy family fun for years to come with your new hot tub or swim spa. Get 20% off select hot tubs and 30% off swim spas. We offer easy financing and free delivery and setup. You can rely on Dream Style Remodeling for complete professional installation. Stop by Dream Style Remodeling today, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
It's his second field goal. He's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A 3 for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos. Step back. High arcing.
But he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, little kick.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Aged Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. Busy week. I mean, we've hit the new year, hit the ground running. Big events coming up this weekend. Last weekend, we had our first local event of the year, Southwest MMA Series 30, up at the Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. Now, this event was one of the kind as we hit the highlights, a couple photos that we got. This was the first time that the Southwest MMA Series had a couple of pure grappling matches. Big shout out to Austin Lewis, first time competing in grappling, getting the submission win, escaping an armbar, using a triangle to hit his own armbar, the submission victory, and then big shout out to Gregory Hassman, jumping up on short notice, jumping in against a professional mixed martial artist, Jesse Tafoya. Tafoya almost had the Kimura, then jumps on the guillotine choke, gets the submission finish quickly. Jump on up to the co-main event, our lone female fight of the card. Unfortunately, after we had had about 5 booked on the card, Lydia Warren makes short work of Veronica Garcia. It was a right cross with the knockdown and then ground and pounding her way all the way into the mount and some big strikes for the finish. Lydia now with a 3-fight win streak, one of the hottest names that we have here on the amateur scene in New Mexico. That was a big victory. In the main event, Roy Cicito, again, big shout out to him, jumping in on 96 hours notice to take this fight. Talk about short notice. He did score a knockdown of Aaron Pearls with his right hand. Pearls quickly recovered, regathered himself, landed some kicks, was able to get on the inside, took the fight to the ground from mount. Cicito gives up his back. There's the rear naked choke finish for Aaron Pearls. A successful return to the cage for Pearls, the ANK Santa Fe instructor. It's been 3 years since we've seen him. Hopefully we'll see him back much sooner next time. This weekend, oh, you know I'm loving this one. I talk about the LFA all the time. LFA kicks off their year right here in the Land of Enchantment. The Legends Theater will be the host at the Route 66 Casino, or you can watch it on UFC Fight Pass on Friday night, LFA 80. Start talking about this one with the main event right there. You can see it. Screen left of us, it's the Mean Machine, Steve Garcia, the Bellator vet, coming off of a victory on Dana White's Contender Series, moving up to 145 pounds. 3 in a row, 2 big knockouts, only missed the opportunity at the UFC because he had trouble on the scales, missing weight. So a big opportunity for the Mean Machine, taking on Jose Chepe Mariscal. Mariscal, training out of the Elevation Fight team there in Denver. Mariscal, a wrestler who likes to go full balls out, puts the pedal to the metal right away, doesn't really set many things up. Garcia, as he told us last week, wants to be able to take advantage of those openings. The co-main event, it's a 125-pound flyweight matchup. Jerome Rivera taking on Kendrick Latchman. Rivera, last time scheduled, was supposed to fight for the LFA flyweight title, but that event was postponed. Rivera then had a nagging injury that he chose to get surgery on, leaving Brandon Royval with a new opponent. Rivera, we're going to hear from him shortly. He's highly motivated to take on Kendrick Latchman. Latchman, a boxer, most of his victories coming by knockout, 6 of the 8 in fact. Jordan Wright, who we're also going to hear from a little bit later, he returns to the cage. It's been over a year. He's going to take on Gabriel Checo. Jordan Wright, a Contender Series vet who has a submission arsenal and a karate style. Gabriel Checo, no stranger if you've watched the RFA or the LFA before. A Brazilian mauler, a brawler nicknamed Zangief. Yes, like the Street Fighter character, and the guy has a wicked jiu-jitsu game, loves to go for the leg locks. The future, Chris Brown, is on the card with the win. There's a lot of speculation that he could head to the UFC. He's going to be taking on Carrington Banks. Banks, a Bellator and tough veteran with an outstanding wrestling pedigree. Outstanding wrestling pedigrees. Edrin Cooper Jr., 2-0 so far, a Jackson Wink product. He's there on the main card, taking on Sean William Cleverly, also unbeaten, and is a leg lock master, I'm told. Torino Gavino, the fit NHB Muay Thai coach, who won his last LFA fight in just 15 seconds, a flying knee knockout, is going to be taking on Josh Marsh. Marsh, a grinder out of Milwaukee, training in Denver, Colorado for this fight. A great undercard. In the flyweight division, you're going to see Ricky Escobel versus Josiah Reyes. Jalen Fuller, my sources say, he's on the card, coming off of a huge knockout at the last not this past, but the previous Southwest MMA Series event. Chris Rojas, Caleb Ramirez, that's a great one, and a couple of top-notch amateur fights, so you're going to want to get there early. The doors to the Legends Theater are going to open at 5:30. First fight at 6. You can pack 5 fights in those first 2 hours, and then we head to the 7-fight main card, 8 p.m. local time. We're on UFC Fight Pass, LFA 80, kicking off their year here in New Mexico. A big opportunity for these local stars to get that notoriety, to get the exposure. This is the biggest promotion on Fight Pass. It's a huge event. Don't miss it. And it's the kickoff to a big weekend, because the next night, I know that you're all excited for this one. Notorious Conor McGregor, Cowboy Cerrone. They're going to throw down at 170 pounds. And most likely, as weird as it is, the winner will get a 155-pound title shot, is what it seems to be playing out. Conor McGregor, it's been so long since we've seen him in the octagon and not in the tabloids. The biggest headlines of recent for McGregor is that there are no headlines. Could he have been quieted down and taking this camp seriously? That makes him a dangerous man. A quote that I saw very recently, McGregor taking a point from LeBron James, saying he spends $1.5 million on his body, taking care of it. He's not out there buying cars and doing what I was doing. I think that McGregor is in the right mindset, and that makes a dangerous opponent for a Cowboy Cerrone, who honestly comes in with nothing to lose. You're looking at a guy that is one of the biggest stars in the UFC, is a bonus machine, fight of the night every time out. And honestly, he's also coming off of 2 losses. You got the knockout to Justin Gaethje and the loss by eye injury to Tony Ferguson after the 3-fight win streak. Cowboy's been up and down. His boxing is looking, honestly, the best it ever has. He has a superiority in the grappling realm against McGregor. McGregor, who has tried to convey throughout the media to let's just stand there and bang because he knows it's his best opportunity. A Cowboy Cerrone that we cannot forget. This fight is at 170 pounds, and Cowboy made it well into the top 5. He was right there on the cusp of a title shot in the welterweight division. It's not to be overlooked, but in the biggest moments, Cowboy Cerrone has struggled against names like Masvidal, Lawler, Darren Till, against Rafael Dos Anjos, against Anthony Pettis and Nate Diaz. In these big moments where the title was right there, where the biggest payday was on the line, Cerrone has struggled. Conor McGregor is a different kind of monster, has rose to the occasion. A 13-second knockout of Jose Aldo, taking out Eddie Alvarez and becoming the champ. At the biggest moments, Conor McGregor has performed. This is going to be a heck of a fight, must-see TV from Las Vegas on Saturday night. Don't forget Holly Holm rematching Raquel Pennington is also on that card. Anthony Pettis is going to be taking on Diego Ferreira, and Claudia Gadelha. Alexa Grasso is the main card. Tons of prospects, including Macy Barber and Sabina Mazo, who, if you go to CageMinds.com, I had the opportunity to talk to this week. UFC kicks off the year, T-Mobile, Las Vegas, UFC 246. And while you're there in Las Vegas, if you're able to make it out, Budweiser has produced some special Cowboy Cerrone themed signature Budweiser cans. So pick that up if you can. I know I'm sending Michael Carlisle on the hunt to get me one. Tune in, watch a fight this weekend, but for right now, stay right here. We got a couple fighters in action at the LFA card that we're going to hear from in just a moment.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Huge savings on all jacuzzi and Cal Spas hot tubs and swim spas at Dream Style Remodeling, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard. Enjoy family fun for years to come with your new hot tub or swim spa. Get 20% off select hot tubs and 30% off swim spas. We offer easy financing and free delivery and setup. You can rely on Dream Style Remodeling for complete professional installation. Stop by Dream Style Remodeling today, 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
LFA 80 is upon us, and the Renegade is in doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Micah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to see that you're back. And man, it was a year full of adversity, full of you last year, right?
Yes, sir. Like always, I never have an easy route or a easy road, even if it was only one fight in the year. It's a pretty long year.
How happy are you to be turning the page, looking at 2020?
Super happy, super excited, ready to have a really busy 2020 like I planned on having in 2019. Yeah, I'm ready for the year, ready to get it started with a bang.
But from what I've understood, 2019 was kind of the year that you needed to have. There was a couple ailments, a couple things bothering you. You needed to get healed up. So where are you at physically right now?
Physically, me and Coach Ray were just talking about this the other day. I think this is the first time my whole body has been 100% together, no pending surgeries, nothing like that. Probably the first time I've been this healthy in at least 3 years. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Body's feeling good. Yeah, last year was just another one of those years that I just had to go through to make me better as a martial artist. I got injured right before that fight I had back in February, and my shoulder was tweaked for months after that. It was just one that I really had to take time and baby and get back to 100%. But shoulder's feeling great. All the limbs are feeling good. Weight's good. Yeah, I'm ready to go for January 17th.
How hard has that been? I guess just maturing in the fight game, having to learn to listen to your body, pull back. How has that process been?
It's definitely been a learning process for me. You know, like after I dislocated my elbow and got the surgery done after the Brandon fight, you know, I wanted to just jump into things right away. I was there sparring 6 weeks later with my arm like wrapped to my chest and doing jiu-jitsu with one arm, and looking back in hindsight, that was very dangerous. You know, but just trial and error is something I had to do and learn and go through, and all in all, I recovered really well from that. And then last year, like I said, I wanted to have a super busy year, but at the same time, I've learned I can't just push through all these small injuries because then they become bigger and bigger. So yeah, I've gotten better at taking care of my body and working on all the logistics behind camp, you know, work on my recovery a lot more now. My diet's pretty much good all year round, always trying to eat healthy. And yeah, so it's just, it's taken a lot of learning, but I've really matured a lot. And it's crazy looking at myself now compared to 3 years ago.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
What's going on with Jordan, though? Like we said, it's been a while. Where are you at right now? What's up with Jordan Wright?
It's been great, honestly. Training's been amazing. I'm at a new camp now. I'm training over at Dynamics MMA with Sensei Anthony Hardonk for kickboxing, Coach Vladimir Matyushenko for wrestling. Over at Morumbi Jiu-Jitsu, I'm training with Professor Fabio Leopoldo. So I'm training with a lot of coaches who have fought. You know, Anthony Hardonk is a K1 and UFC heavyweight legend. Vladimir, former IFL champ, UFC contender, Belarusian and Soviet wrestling champ. And Fabio is a world champion in jiu-jitsu, former IFL fighter. And Raymond Diaz is a coach of mine for strength and conditioning, who has also fought. So pretty much every single one of the coaches who I'm training with now have fought, which is really awesome. And I'm doing the latter half of my camp over here at Jackson's Acoma, and under Nick Urso. And Nick's amazing. He does a lot of the same stuff that I'm doing over with everyone else back in Cali. So I feel amazing. I feel like I've really grown as a martial artist since my last fight, and things couldn't be better.
Looking ahead of us, Gabriel Checo's going to be the opponent. A brawling style, an aggressive fighter. What do you think of the matchup?
I think Checo's really good. I think he's a good opponent. Like, the dude's got a sick jiu-jitsu game. He's got a lot of experience. Strong dude. But aside from that, like, I just, yeah, he's a really good dude, a veteran. So I look forward to testing my skills against him. He's a specialist at what he does, and I'm really looking forward to it. He's really good, so I look forward to testing my skills against him.
Now we're going to see you for the first time in a while. As you said, new coaches. How much different of in-cage Jordan do we expect?
You know, I am not one to take a lot of time away from the gym. So as much as I've taken time away from, you know, a competition, I've been fighting since I was 16 years old, and I've been doing martial arts ever since I was 9 years old. So I feel like I've been in a training camp ever since I was a kid. So the whole taking time away, how are you going to feel? It's just, I feel like maybe it affects other people differently, but it's never really affected me just because I'm always training. I'm always doing martial arts. Like, this is all I really know. And so coming back, I feel like you're just going to see a better me, more mature young man, great martial artist, and got a whole bunch of new skills.
Moving to different coaches, to different gyms, is it almost invigorating because it is different? You're learning different new stuff. Is that almost an exciting challenge of itself?
That's absolutely what I love about this game, is learning new things. Like, as a young martial artist, I think a lot of people in this sport get too into strength and conditioning and sparring and hitting pads. And like my coach, Sensei Hardonko, is always saying, like, oh, hitting pads, sparring, strength and conditioning, all that stuff is overrated. You know, in the Netherlands, you have guys who've kickboxed their entire lives, and they're just like the age-old saying, drillers are killers. You drill, you drill, you drill, you drill, you drill. And I feel like that's something that I love about the gyms that I'm training at now. Under Sensei Hardonk, we're drilling all the time with the kickboxing. With Coach Vlad, we're drilling all the time with the wrestling. With Professor Fabio, all we're doing is drilling jiu-jitsu over and over and over. And I feel like the more I got into my professional career, the more we were just focusing so much on hitting the pads and the sparring and the conditioning and all of these things. And a lot of these things are, like Sensei says, they're very overrated in the grand scheme of things. Drilling is what wins, and the repetitions is what makes champions.
Just heard from Jerome Rivera and Jordan Wright. Sorry, excuse me. Just home from Jordan Knight. If you guys want to go over to the CageMinds.com or Cage Minds MMA show YouTube page, you can hear the full interviews from Jerome Rivera and Jordan Wright up there. Not to mention we have interviews with Chris Brown, Chris Rojas, and Caleb Ramirez. Plus the interview you saw last week with Steve Mean Machine Garcia, all up on the website and the YouTube page. Not to mention that Sabina Mazo interview, as she will be in action, the first fight kicking off UFC 246. And that's not the end of it. We still have more interviews. Josiah Reyes, not to mention Aka Matters and Mario Moore. Those interviews will be going up on the website this week. LFA 80, get out and support your local fighters. A lot of the top prospects, get a chance to see them here live before you're not able to again. Expecting a lot of these guys to get moved on to the UFC. After this fight. So it's going to be a big night to be out there. Again, go check out the full interviews with Jerome Rivera and Jordan Wright up on CageMinds.com, not to mention a full slew of interviews with everybody else on the card. The UFC card, you're going to need to go to ESPN Plus for the early prelims, over to ESPN for your middle section of prelims, and then it's back to ESPN Plus to be able to buy that pay-per-view main card. Keep up with CageMinds.com. We're going to have full coverage of everything going on out there in Las Vegas and from the Route 66 Casino. Don't forget also on Saturday from 11 to 1, tune in on the air, 295.9, 610 AM, The Sports Animal, to hear me alongside of Mike Adams. On the Mic is the show. And one more time, cageminds.com. Keep up with me across social media. And really, enjoy some fights this weekend because there's going to be some great ones.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued